Hello and welcome to Little State Big Voices on Super Bowl Sunday. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey y'all, guess what team I'm rooting for? Just look at my fit, look at my earrings, look at my eye makeup. Guess what team
Is
I'm
that
rooting for?
green? Okay,
It
okay.
is. I went in with the teal and the
hmm
gray, smoky eye, glitter,
hmm
because go birds.
The only thing I can go with was the hat. I couldn't find anything else green, and you can barely tell that it's green, but I'm supporting, Yellow Cup as well. That's the only green I actually had. But I'm excited. It's been a great football season, honestly,
For
but I'm
other teams,
really
yes.
excited for the
For teams
Eagles.
that are not the Patriots, yes. This has been a great football
Yeah,
season.
well, yeah, we don't want to talk about poor Patriots, but I'm like really excited for the Eagles. I am not watching today, but I will be watching that halftime.
Mm.
Kendrick Lamar. Can
I'm
can we just say one thing about we got to talk about I know we've talked about it before, but the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake beef is like
oh,
insane. Did you
that,
see Hulu has
a
a
special.
30-minute show on their beef?
Hulu, first of all, has all the messy
Petty.
docs. They're like literally, it's only going to take a minute for them to have. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that because we'll get to that. Let me turn it down to a simmer. Let's go back to what you were saying. Yes, the Kendrick and Drake beef. For those who've been like not keeping up with it, I don't know who that would be because literally even people outside of the culture know this beef. It is has been historical since it started last year. Kendrick's song "Not Like Us" has become an anthem all over the world. Literally, people in other countries are having whole orchestras do the song. He basically like drove Drake under a rock. Drake is showing his slip right now, trying to sue behind the song because he said it like impacted him. He said there was like physical harm. He was in harm's way. His family was in harm's way because of the song. Kendrick won buku awards at the Grammys, which were actually well deserved this year.
Was in harm's way. I thought it was the money situation because
Apparently, some there was a shooting that was related to this whole beef that occurred near or in and around him, like to one of
Mhm.
his associates, because of the all of the allegations of whatever the allegations of child abuse and under like statutory rape and things like that. It got to the point where there was like gunfire involved, and then he was concerned about his son. He said Drake said he had to move Adonis to another school. There was a lot that was alleged here.
can I just say something about that? I totally disagree with anybody shooting over a rap beef. We
Mm-mm.
lost Tupac to a rap beef. We watched
Biggie,
lost Biggie to
a
a
lot
rap
of
beef.
rappers
It's
actually.
just
Yeah.
ridiculous, that it gets to that point. But sir, you participated. You participated in this beef with your own songs. I don't know them. That says something. I don't know them, but you participated. So one blew up and one is literally the song of the summer or the rap song of the
The
summer
year,
and won a Grammy, won a Grammy,
several.
and you're suing because that one song made it so I mean, I get it. That is wrong, but to sue, you need to start bringing it to the fans. And the people who are actually that's not Kendrick's fault that there are crazy people out in the world because what if it were your fans or people who were attacking Kendrick because of your songs? That makes no sense.
But the way people turned on Drake was like it was wild because Drake had a good run. I mean, Drake had an amazing run. Like he was our Rihanna, basically.
No,
He
he
could
wasn't.
do well
He was not mine.
for the hip hop world. He could
Don't put
do
in
he
don't put in
could
with Rihanna.
when I say he was our Rihanna, he could do no wrong. Like no Drake could put out the alphabet song and people were gonna run to buy it. They were gonna run to watch his video. He was like he was everyone's favorite, like in the rap game.
He
He could do
was, he
no
was.
wrong. And the way people turned on this man, and I understand the allegations are very damning, but and I don't know if that was even true about him or it was just his associates and he was around these kind of people. But apparently, that hip hop has a very nefarious side anyway, and he's not the only one. But just the way people turned on him was crazy, and he said it,
Did
really
they
broke his
really
heart.
turn on him because
Yes,
of the allegations, or it was because
because he lost
his
the beef, because he lost that beef badly,
because in the
badly.
summertime it was like there was he had a strong following. People were like, oh, Drake was like winning the beef. And I listened to those beef
No,
songs he
he
did,
was
and
not ever
he
winning.
never was.
He
And
wasn't
then
ever
even
winning.
in the did you watch the Hulu special?
No, because I just have a thing about these Hulu specials.
Well, I
Um,
watched it.
well, tell us about it, Shahida, because I do I probably will eventually.
There was
Let's have.
nothing new in it, but they did like, they showed like this club, and the DJs were doing, Drake's songs, and then they were doing Kendrick's,
Kendrick.
their whole beef songs, and people were like, kind of like voting on it, vibing on it or whatever. And the whole night they were all like, "Oh, Drake won. Drake was the winner. But when you look at who was in that club,
Oh, well, I already
you look
know.
at who was in that club,
I
if
already know.
Drake would say, "Okay, I want to be a winner in this club," there was nobody that was of brown tone. None, none.
What concerns me about this beef, I hold like 100% hands down. Kendrick slayed this. He tore it up. He made a bop that is just undeniable.
Mhm.
It is now archived in history. There's no taking that away from him. But my thing is like in 10, 15 years, are they gonna do this? Well, he won't be rap. He probably won't be a rapper anymore, but how quickly will they turn on Kendrick the way they did Drake? I'm like, people who are like diehard Drake fans, like blah blah blah. Like, will you turn on Kendrick over something that somebody's like? I'm just like, where is the loyalty? My thing is, if you rode with Drake like that and you could just turn on him so abruptly, I'm gonna tell you what Drake does do well though, and this was not planned. I promise you. His candles. His
What?
candles smell amazing.
I didn't even know he had candles.
This one's called Williamsburg Sleepover. It
Mhm.
is a bomb. So Drake does have a candle company, and
Why are you promoting his candles?
because they smell so good.
Yeah, but
They
okay,
smell
that's
so
like
good.
promoting R. Kelly shit. No,
But no, I'm not
let's
condoning
not
that.
do
I'm
that.
not condoning none of that. I'm a Kendrick fan. I'm so excited for the Super Bowl. You know I am
But you were a Drake fan. At
I
the beginning of the beef,
I
you
am a
were
Drake.
like,
I am still a fan of the music that he put out, but he
mhm.
lost the beef. I can own that.
Right, and I think that a lot of people are still fans of his music. I never was a fan of Drake's music. Like
Mm.
and when I say I'm not a fan, it's more or less like
You just
I'll
didn't like
listen to
it.
it, I'll bop to it or whatever, but I'm never gonna download it. I'm never going to like go out of my way to like listen to it or whatever. I have always downloaded, Kendrick. I've always been a fan of his. I just like his
Yeah,
style
I have
differently. But
both.
when Drake is if you're at a club and a Drake song would come on back in the day, what was one of them? I can't even think of the name of it. And it was a cute video to it as well.
Hotline Bling. I know what you're
That
talking
one,
about.
right. That's
That was my
exactly what I'm talking
ringtone.
about.
And like
And
I literally like I really was no, I wasn't one of those like, oh my God, like I gotta, go to every time Drake comes in town. I just really enjoyed his music and I thought he put out really, really great music. And he's the difference between him and an R. Kelly is R. Kelly, this is proven.
mhm.
The conviction is there. The man is behind bars for this. From what I can tell, these are like friends of. There's no like correlation between that Drake actually did this stuff. But in
It's
any
like
event,
suspect Michael
it
Jackson
is. It's
stuff.
sus. It's very sus. But
Mhm.
I'm not willing to die on a hill for Drake. I'm just saying
Hmm.
I don't want to negate the work that he did. Like hit
Hmm.
the last stuff that I really liked he did was songs he did with 21 Savage, which like
Hmm.
loved all of that. I feel like fans who said that they were down for him are now turning on, like it's a mob mentality. That's what I feel like is happening.
And that's unfortunate. Like I
Yeah.
said, because like I said, I've never been a fan of
Yeah.
his. But if you was, if especially if you're coming from the summer and people were like, all picking sides or whatever, you still can't pick a side and say, "Oh, my boy won, but I still like this dude's music."
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
it's
Literally,
simple as
this
that.
man had like 15 good years of excellent albums, record after record after
Hmm.
no bomb. Like he started faltering a little bit around the pandemic, but I'm gonna give him a pass for that. But he put out some good music. But what Kendrick is saying essentially is like, you didn't even write that shit. You just are great at delivering
And
it.
I'm all fine with people who don't write it but can present it well.
But if you're a hip hop purist too, you'll be like, well, Kendrick writes all this stuff, and also Kendrick was also accusing him of kind of being a house slave. So that was the other thing with Drake. I think
Hmm.
that a lot of people kind of flipped on him because the way Kendrick presented is like you are using the culture for your own ill-gotten gains. Like you didn't want to come to this side until whatever till
I actually agree with
yeah,
Kendrick on that side.
him
And
and
I
everybody else.
feel like people like Drake try sometimes so hard to fit in when if you were not part of the culture as a child and then but you're just so close to it because his father he's just so close to it, sometimes you go a little bit overboard to get over that fence. And I understand that. And that's a tough place to be when you want to be like all immersed in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like he made a lot of missteps in trying to do it. Just be who you are, which I know is hard. I know is difficult because everybody wants to have like this gangster rap mentality, to a point. But that was nowhere near what your life was. And when he's just doing the happy songs and the happy beats and then rapping like that, that's where you were winning.
But don't come and try to be tough. And that's why, like, so for those of us who are of a particular age, right? The one of the biggest rap beefs to me that I remember more recent, well, not recently, but like the biggest one that I remember would be Tupac and Biggie, and then Jay-Z and Nas. I feel like they were the same genre of hip hop. I would not even consider Drake and Kendrick to be in the
Really?
like how they got in a beef is crazy to me. And then I guess Drake doubled down, and that's when Kendrick was like, "Listen, I'm about to.
He
I'm
said,
not to mention
put out all the fire.
you have got to understand that a short man scorned. You don't want that smoke. Short men are
Man,
very delicate with
I
their feelings.
don't know if I like this comparison that you're doing right now. I think it's very disrespectful.
It is not. There is a
It's
syndrome
very
named after it. It's called Napoleon
disrespectful
syndrome for a damn
to
reason. This
that man.
Kendrick Lamar is like 5'2". If that. He's a
Okay,
very
but
small man.
the difference is, you can go with the short man thing, but the difference is, in my opinion, is a man who wasn't brought up in the culture, doesn't speak like the culture, he doesn't have that level of intelligence to use words like people in the culture do.
Mhm.
And that's where all the fire came out for Drake. Drake, like I said, he's hip hop. Go with it.
Yeah.
Make your life. Do be king of that. But to try and come for a black man who's raised in the black culture from day one,
Who's
there's
like
no,
got
huh?
like who's got like I feel like there's some Black Panther affiliations. Like he's
There's
California born. Like you picked the wrong one, sir. It's a cocktail of things. It's the height, it's the upbringing, it's the wokeness. All like you picked the wrong one. Aubrey, you picked
it,
the wrong one.
and we're not mad at you for what you have tried to do, but you need to be man enough now to back down and just
He had to go all the way to Australia to tour because he literally cannot even really tour in the like his pockets were very much impacted by all of this. Um, it is what it is. It this is what it is. In this Super Bowl performance, I'm just like I'm so ready
I'm
for it.
excited for it.
I'm ready for
Somebody
it.
said in the comment that Drake stands for "Don't rap against Kendrick ever," and I fell out.
Okay, did anybody notice this? So, did you watch even clips of Kendrick going up to accept his awards?
No, I didn't, but my son was telling me that he had on a Canadian
Canadian
tuxedo.
tuxedo. I'm like, he was even dropping metaphors with the fashion
Hmm.
because he did have the denim jacket and the denim pants. I'm like, he really went, he really went there.
The petty is strong with
The
that
petty
man.
is strong, but he's so little that his ring fell off when he stood up to go get his award. His ring fell off his finger. It's okay.
I'm not playing with her no
It's
more.
okay though.
Moving on. No,
Our short King Kendrick. God bless. Can't wait to watch you in Super Bowl. I hope the commercials are amazing. I'm excited for commercials. Um,
the only reason I'm not watching it is because the orange bastard is going to be there. And then because, again, the NBA, I mean, NFL,
mm,
the NBA never does this, the NFL consistently bows to this man, which disgusts me. And I'm just going to say this, and this is the only political thing I'm going to say. I wish the black men in the NFL
protest.
would you no would just use some of their power, would just use a little bit of it, because you let these white owners, you let these white coaches dictate the culture of the NFL, and the NFL could not survive without you black men.
Mm,
But yet you consistently kind of throw your hands up and be like, I'm out of it when it comes to issues that are related to you. What is wrong with having in racism at the end of the field?
yeah.
What kind of holy water is that to any person in the United States that end racism offends you? So
Meanwhile,
your owners and for the coaches and them to and the NFL association to say, okay, we're gonna change it to, what is it? Something with lead with love or something like that. I don't know what they're changing it to, which is fine because that's a good message
that's
too. But
positive.
had you, it is extremely so. But had you did that just because it's something that you wanted to do, not because you wanted to appease this disgusting administration that is consistently coming after black and brown people.
Yeah.
And then for the black football players, again, not to say anything. And the only reason he's going is because Kansas City players are huge Trump supporters. So
Licking
he's
his
thinking he's
tail.
going to walk in there and it's going to be a rousing crowd of people just hooping and hollering for him. I hope that you hear some boos, but I'm not watching the football game. But I am so wanting
I want to
the
watch
Eagles to
this
win.
soap opera. I'm going to watch it. We actually got invited to a Super Bowl party, so hopefully, we'll get to enjoy the concert. We'll get to enjoy all the. I could really honestly care less about the game. I just want the Eagles to win.
No, I definitely want to see the game. I
I
just
just
don't want
want
to
the Eagles to win.
put my TV in the numbers, except for halftime. I want the halftime to be huge. A lot of people, listening to it. So by the time this airs, the whole thing
Well,
will be over anyway.
that's a great intro to a Black History fact. It is Black History Month. We are immersed in it. We are definitely wanting to recall the fact that Super Bowl halftime games did not even get lit until In
No,
Living Color started going up against the Super Bowl in the ratings. So, In Living Color, a show from the late 80s, 90s, a predominantly Black sketch comedy program, actually was taking ratings away from the Super Bowl. So to combat that, the NFL started upping the ante on their halftime games to get people to switch back over and watch. So I think In Living Color did like some kind of halftime show and it took ratings away. So that's how Super Bowl halftime became so lit. It wasn't that they didn't have shows before, but it was like some whack marching band with some little gong gong gong.
But it was when Michael Jackson did the halftime.
It was
That's
supposed
when
to,
it just
it was in
after
living
that
color.
they just had to like okay, there was the excellence on par.
That might have been when they brought him. That might have been that overlap. I'd have to look at the timeline for that, but
Hmm.
historians have attributed it to In
In
Living
living
Color.
color.
Yeah, to In Living Color, which was an amazing show. Never has been another one like it, except maybe Black Lady Sketch Comedy to even rival that. Yeah, so proud of those Wayans brothers. They still,
Yeah.
and sister, still rocking with it.
I
So
was not a fan of Black Lady sketch comedy. It was not that good to me.
really, it used to make me
I
crack up.
tried so hard. I watched it, but it did not give the level of In Living Color to me.
I binged. But
Hmm.
what I will okay, so here's what the story is about the halftime. In Living Color, halftime show made history during Super Bowl, Lord, what is this, 25? On January, I don't know what the XXV1 is, that 25 or 26? That's 25, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on January 26, 1992, by airing a special live episode that aimed to attract viewers during the halftime break. This unique move was a strategic effort to compete with the traditional halftime show, and it featured performances from the show's cast, including Jennifer Lopez, who was a fly girl at the time. So that was like the tipping point. That was the tipping point for them to to up the ante so that that would not happen to them again.
So did they say who they had was the first big halftime performer?
Let me see. But I'm gonna Google Michael Jackson halftime show to see when he did that. That was 93. Ha!
It was okay. I thought because it did to me just from watching it. And another thing that you mentioned, which is just a little NFL fact, the Super Bowls used to always be in January. And a lot of people don't know that they were moved to February after 9/11.
Oh,
Because
why?
they because everything stopped and
Oh,
then
so they had
the,
to
the
push it.
NFL wasn't playing football games and respect and we didn't know what was going on and so it got pushed to February and it stayed that way after
That is
9/11.
wild. So I am quoting Wikipedia, which I know is not necessarily the best source of truth, but it
Mhm.
tends to be. I'm not gonna lie, I get a lot of good facts from there. So according to Wikipedia, the Super Bowl 27, so it must have been 26 the year before. Halftime game took place on January 31st, 1993 at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena in an effort to increase its profile after being counter-programmed by an In Living Color special the previous year. Go ahead, Black History.
So what I learned during this little session is that you and I don't know anything about Roman numerals. So
I
that's
know what
okay.
the X's, I know the X's
I
are
know what the
10.
X's are
We're, and
too.
I know
So we both got that wrong.
V is 5. But how I get confused is that if the numbers come after V or before them. So it's
Yeah, me
like
too. Hmm.
minus or plus. Listen, I'm not freaking Roman. I'm not European, okay? Sorry.
We're not doing
I don't
Latin
know that.
anymore. Too
I don't know
funny.
that.
So it has been a wild week,
Yeah. Valentine's
and
at the end of this week,
it
but
was
it
actually,
has been.
it's been kind of low key quiet, but wild at the same time.
Mhm.
I mean, if you,
I opt in and out of the wildness.
there you go. Me too. I'm opting in and out, but there has been a crazy sensation, and
Yes.
you,
My queen,
oh, your queen.
my
Okay,
idol.
let's just take a quick look at what I'm. Hopefully, I can share this, and it comes up fine, and we'll see.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down. My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the street, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it. Okay? Block him out. Right now? Right now, I'm going to mind my fucking business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
Oh my God.
What was that?
Oniya Robinson, a queen, a queen,
Ooh.
a queen.
So this woman, what, she's 33,
Allegedly.
flew off to Pakistan to marry a 19, and they keep saying 19-year-old boy. And first of all, he's in Pakistan. He's a 19-year-old man.
Hmm.
Anyway, to marry this man that she met, what, online?
Yes. And so I've heard different iterations that maybe
Mm-hmm.
she catfished him a little bit with the Nicki
Mm-hmm.
Minaj filter. I don't know how Nicki Minaj got dragged into this, but allegedly she used a filter when they were
I
communicating.
saw the filter and it still looked like her.
Listen, maybe in Pakistan she looks like Nicki Minaj. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. So she went, he ghosted her. Did he even meet
He
her?
didn't, so supposedly, allegedly, this is my understanding. They met, and when they met, he said, "My family will not approve of this." So I think
No.
when she got there, the cuckoo really, and that's a clinical term, really came out. And he was just like, my family is not having this. I don't know what the interaction was. However, the people of Pakistan appear to be entertained.
Were you entertained? Because I think the
Very.
people in America were entertained as well.
Everyone all over. The fact that, first of all,
She wouldn't
she's
leave.
not in jail yet. She's only been like under observation. They did like they put her in a clinic for observation for 48 hours and released her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just letting her do her thing. Like I think they are enjoying her
I
quite
think
a
she's on
bit.
her way back home, though. I thought she was on her way back.
She has a ticket to come home, but will not get on the plane.
So was she, you know what? Good
She's
luck.
there's a video of her saying, so someone said, so Oniza, are you going back to America? She said, that is private, but I live here now. I stay here. She said she lives there now.
Good luck.
I
Good luck.
mean, the reporters are having a day.
I think
They
so.
are
I think
having a
so.
field day with my girl Onija. But and what's funny is the first video that I ever saw of her was, and I don't appreciate her disrespecting the elder like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not, cute or not funny, but it's just the way she's like, you talk too much.
Oh
She was
yeah,
just
the
like,
older.
she was like, I hope you're saying the right thing on my base. She just, but I think those people were trying to use her for something. So that's the only reason I kind of like am okay with, because there were a lot of people wearing some kind of logos and
Mm-hmm.
t-shirts. So I don't know if she was out there with some politician or somebody. And maybe these promises of building up Pakistan, maybe they thought she really had some money. I don't know. But
I knew the woman didn't have no money.
I think those people were trying to use her, and
Mm-hmm.
but her demand for like money in her pocket, I feel you, sis. I would like
I
20,000
have
in my
seen
account.
so many Instagram reels
The
using her
parodies
voice.
are wild. The parodies.
Eh,
Countess Vaughn did a cute one.
Oh, get out. I haven't seen her in
Countess
forever.
Vaughn, everybody go on Countess Vaughn's Instagram, and she was one of the first ones. But I've seen people dress their babies up as
I saw that
Oneida.
one.
I've seen
Hilarious.
children dressed up, and so I want to be clear. I'm not mocking. If she, I don't think she has converted yet. So when people put the head um
Yeah.
hijab on, I don't want people to think that I'm laughing or mocking the religion in any way. I am just wildly entertained by her personality. And I want a bicycle t-shirt. And the only reason I wouldn't like parody her is because I don't feel comfortable doing the head covering and mocking somebody in that way that
Mm-hmm.
might insult other people. That's the only
Hmm.
reason I haven't done one.
I would do it.
Well, you
With the
you got the
hijab and everything,
pass.
I would do it.
But it's the mask of makeup for me,
It
from
is
the
the
nose
mask of
up.
makeup and those eyebrows that are just, oh, oh my
Hold
God,
on, I
so
got a
scary.
Sharpie right here.
Don't don't do it, sis. Don't do it. Yeah, it is wild how she just like all of a sudden that was just everything. And I don't know
I
if she
love her.
has mental issues or if she's just straight delulu, but go ahead and live your
Or
life.
is she just a New Yorker?
I mean, there's just a New Yorker, and then there's like a delulu New Yorker.
It
Come on,
is
the difference.
giving New York, just a regular person from like
No,
New York.
no, you cannot insult New Yorkers like that. I'm sorry, ma'am. You're not gonna insult New Yorkers like that.
It's
There's a
I
little bit out there for her.
Yeah, so she does have two sons according to the internet,
Oh, get out, really?
and one of the sons was saying that she has some mental issues. This is what her
Which
son
it
said.
looks
So
like.
yeah, but she seems to be managing.
I want to know where the hell is she staying?
I think what happened is the people of Pakistan are just so kind that the people are coming to her rescue. I think people are giving her Then, girl, there was a video of her at the hotel where she was staying at,
Okay, so she is at a hotel.
and she said they stole her $1 million ruby ring, and she was like, "I was in room 10 whatever,
Oh,
109."
genuine give the room out too. Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, and they were like, "Well, ma'am, how much was the ring worth?" She was like, "My husband bought it for me, and it's $1 million." I'm like, "Who's the husband?" Because you went there to marry somebody and it didn't work out. So who's the husband?
And they said
And
he's in hiding. Why is he in hiding?
because this
You
family,
you in your home country. Why are
this
you in
family,
hiding from
because they're
everybody?
probably hounding that family
She's
so
hound.
bad. They are the press is probably hounding that man so badly, and he just wanted to be on 90 Day Fiance, and look what happened.
Is that what it
I
was?
don't know. I don't know.
Because that's what I read. Somebody was saying like 90 Day Fiance gone bad.
90
I'm like,
Day needs to
maybe
give
he thought
them
maybe
their
he thought so.
I see a television show or at least a movie or a documentary on Onija coming to a TV near you, because it is exactly, I think it's timing, just because
Mhm,
of the political climate and how much stress we are under as the, from Americans perspective.
mhm,
Her just being on there making wild demands and just people letting her cook is
mhm.
exactly the stress reliever I didn't know that I needed.
So for people who are like my age, older, when you say letting her cook, define that, ma'am. I know what you mean, but
Yes.
a week ago I would not have known what you meant.
So let her cook or let him cook is just a term that means let them do what they do. Like, don't interrupt this person. There's a method to the madness. Just let
Mhm.
them do their thing. It's been popularized by Glorilla.
That's what I
She
said.
has a
Give that
song.
girl her flowers
Yes, give my young queen her flowers. But yeah, just let Onaja cook, man. Let her do her thing. It is good for my soul when I'm stressed and worried about things to see this woman come on here and just be unbothered, unbossed, just doing her thing. It's not what I would do, but I love it for her.
because you're sane. But
Yeah.
and that's the beauty about being crazy though. And I remember not long ago I thought about how freeing it is to be crazy because you don't care. You don't care about anybody's opinion of you. You don't care about housing. You don't care about like, you because you're crazy. You're like these things are just going to come and it's just going that's just going to be it. And you take your it's like giving up into the universe. That's a level of freedom
It
that you
is.
just do not
It's
will not
That's
get on
why
any other
the
level.
Joker movies are so popular.
Oh, the joke.
He don't care.
Most crazy people do not.
Homeboy he's like you said, delulu. Probably
Mhm,
just listen. I'm sure that is a freedom onto itself, as you said. It's just like it's like when you get to a certain age. Like when I get to say probably 65, 70, I'm gonna be that lady. I'm just gonna be telling people to shut up. I'm going to be telling people, I hope you're doing the right thing on my behalf. Like right now, I'm cooking right now. So it's getting there. I'm getting to the level, like I'm starting to like push things away. But when I get to a like a good ripe Old age? Oh, I'm about to be old Nigel Robinson up in this piece.
I don't know if I'm gonna ever go that far,
I
but
need
the level,
20,000. I need 20,000 to fix all this shit.
it reminds me like, did you guys see Apple Cider Vinegar on Netflix?
No.
I actually just watched it, and it's
You've been
another like
going in at with the programming. I got to hear
delulu.
more. Tell us about
This
that.
isn't my black programming.
Mhm.
I watched it this week, and this girl, and it's based on a true story of this Australian girl and Australian girl in Australia, but this Australian woman who kind of copies or mimics this other woman's life who is afflicted with cancer. So she pretends to have cancer. And there's a level of the Lulu in her, but the woman is smart. She really, if she had just taken the cancer out of it and the lies out of it, no, regardless, she was going to be rich and famous because
Mhm.
she knew, she knew how to grab people's attention. She knew how to um grab hold of the internet, the Instagram when it first came out and level it up. She was a smart girl, but the Lulu part is what ruined her.
So shout out to my queen, Lacey Mosley, scam goddess. She says this all the time. She's like, if people actually use the energy they use to con and scam but she's like, it's a whole job to
It
con and
is.
scam. Like it is a whole job. Like the lies you have to track and keep up with. And it's a manipulation, but it's not just something, sometimes it's not even just the money or it's that high. It's the rush
I
that
think
you
that
get,
is.
yeah, from getting over on people. And so that's the show I have been watching too, is the Scam Goddess episodes on Hulu too, because she recaps a lot of the episodes she did on her pod. She
Hmm.
does them in person, and she goes to the towns and interviews the people. And
Hmm.
I just watched the one on the scam minister in New York, who had
Oh, what's his
his
name?
church, Lamore Whitehead.
And
He
he
had
was
his
like, he wasn't he like friends with the mayor, and
another
they were
scammer
tight at yeah, that was a mess. I haven't seen that one, but I did
in the
hear
club
the
with
podcast.
Mayor Adams. But yeah, that was a good one. His church was in a it was above a Haitian restaurant, and he was wearing Gucci and Balenciaga and Fendi suits every Sunday.
Can I say, these church people, you go to church every Sunday, be mindful of who you're giving out money to. When you're donating for 15, 20 years, 30% of your income for that roof to get fixed, and that roof never gets fixed, start asking some
First of
questions.
all, they were
Don't be
renting.
conned.
There's no building fund. They rent.
Yeah,
Like
half the time it's like it's ridiculous. A lot of these churches, I think now, need, especially these big mega churches, tax them. They
I'm
need to
not
be
even gonna
taxed.
spoil it for anyone or you, but there's a woman who was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this," and she actually was kind of in a lot of these Scam Goddess episodes, in a couple of them, a black woman is the one that uncovers the mess and gets and puts an end to it
Mm.
in at
Yeah,
least two
I haven't
episodes.
I listened to a few of her podcasts. I tried to watch a couple
The show is
episodes.
not as
Mhm.
compelling to me as the
Mhm.
podcast is, just because I think you have to kind of understand Lacey and have like this parasocial relationship with her to appreciate the show. I think if you just come clean in watching the show, it's kind of like in Adam Ruins Everything. Like you kind of have to have like some kind of connection with the host to really appreciate the show. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but that was really good too.
But Adam Ruins Everything. I used to
Mhm.
love that show. It was
Yeah.
really good.
So I
Hmm.
think it's kind of like that where if you just had the show, it wouldn't be as good as if you are like a fan of the podcast and listen to her and
Hmm.
know her. Like I know who Lacey is, so I know exactly when she's doing moving through the show the way she is. I'm like, this is so Lacey. But to someone who's never seen her before and you just think she's the girl from iCarly, you're like, I don't know if I received this, but
Oh, I didn't even know that she was on. Well, I've never watched
She's on the reboot.
iCarly.
She's on the reboot of iCarly.
Oh, okay, okay.
She's really talented. She's a
Mhm,
comedian and actress, improv art. Like she Lacey's that's my boo. But anyway,
mhm.
back to programming. You're watching something that you want to put us all on to.
No, I only watched one episode.
Okay.
It's Clean Slate, and it's with George Wallace, Laverne Cox, and Thelma Hopkins in it. I'm
Uh,
always gonna. That's
that
my girl.
lady has got to be 97 years old.
She looks good though.
Freaking amazing.
She looks really good, and she's still getting around and sound the same, and
She'll always be
wrinkle less.
Addie. She will
Hmm?
always be Addie to me.
Who's Addie?
So do you remember when she was best friends on with Nell Carter on Give Me a Break and her name was Addie?
Oh no, yeah, I barely remember that. Mine was what was it? Half and Half. That was my show.
So
And
before
she was
that
Mona's mother.
before
Yeah,
that she was the aunt on Urkel, which is not the name of the show. Family Matters.
Family
So
Matters.
she was in the 80s.
And she
She
was
had
in Dawn,
huh?
Tony Orlando and Dawn. She
So
was in
yeah,
the singing group.
70s Tony Orlando and Don, 80s
She
Give
can
Me a
sing.
Break, Addie, 90s Family Matters. What was her name? The aunt. She was the aunt. Then
Man, I
she
don't
was
remember.
half and half as Mona's mother. Freaking hilarious. And then now, I mean, this woman has
She's in
consistently
a lot of
been working.
shows.
Consistently been working, drinking her water and minding her business. I've never heard this lady say she was broke ever.
Mm-mm,
And
no.
she's not doing like the top Hollywood A. She's never been a quote unquote A-lister, but
Hmm.
she's somebody who knows how to move in the industry.
Yeah, she's always getting hired.
So I'm
She knows her
excited
lane.
to
She's
watch
in her
Clean Slate.
lane and she gets hired in her lane. She's
And
really good.
people
And
really
I just
think,
mentioned her only because,
yeah,
she's just an icon in
but love Laverne Cox.
everybody's loved by her.
Love George Wallace, but I'm so serious about like a lot of people are like, oh, typecasting is bad. No, this lady literally has played essentially the similar type of character,
Typecasting for who?
like for Thelma Hopkins. So she's been like the aunt or the mother or whatever in all these kind of shows. What role does she play in Clean Slate? Who is
She's
she?
the neighbor.
Oh, okay,
She's a neighbor. But it's the same type of role that,
yeah, it's like
she,
her
very
personality shines
quick-witted,
through.
smart mouth kind of thing,
Yeah,
funny. She's the same type of role, but and like I said, the only reason I even mentioned her is because she's an icon and she deserves to have her flowers as much as, the two headliners, George Wallace and Laverne Cox. And I watched the first episode and it was okay. It was good. The thing that got me though was, well, the synopsis is that Laverne Cox's character was named Desmond.
okay.
And, he was George Wallace's, son. And when he turned 17, it seems like the mother died and he just left.
Mhm.
Left and for 23 years, did not have any contact with the father at all. And
Wow.
just comes back after a stint in New York for 23 years. That's a long stint. Comes back after 23 years and sits down, opens the door. The father opens the door and is like, "Oh, you gotta go." He thinks he's a Jehovah Witness. My son is on his way home, and he's just like, "Dad." I mean, he's like, "What's his name? Harry or something?" I think his name is Harry. It's me, and he's like, "I'm Desiree now." And the
How did I know Desiree was the name? I didn't even watch this. I was like, it was something like Desmond. What the
Yep, because it
name?
got that Des in it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Desiree now. And then the father was like, what? You could have told me this. Why didn't you tell me this in an email? Like, give me a heads up or something. And so they're sitting down there talking or whatever. And he's like, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to stay at my friend's house. And the father's like, no, stay here. You
Yeah.
know, no real reaction to him being, trans. He's
Yeah.
a woman now, so her name is Desiree. So no real reaction, respectful of it. And then he's like, well, you're gonna go visit your friends. Well, let's have dinner together. I'll make some wings. And then she's like, ugh, I'm a vegetarian. He loses his shit. Like,
That's the punchline. So that's the
Right,
punchline.
that's wonderful. But then the next day, she comes up and she's like, she's trying to explain to him why she left. And he was like, well, you didn't tell me. He's like, well, because you said stuff like, about the uncle having a little sugar in his tank or whatever. But he's like, you still didn't tell me. And she goes through this whole thing and they have this argument and then she storms off and I'm leaving. He's like, of course, you leaving again like you did before without, any explanation. And my thing was, I'm looking at this argument and I'm like, lady, I know this is written for comedy, but I see this a lot. This man accepted you when you walked through the door. He was respectful of you when you walked through the door and wanted you to stay with him. Expressed how he wants to build up the relationship, and you get mad at him because at this moment in time, he can't understand what you were going through at 17. Get it? I understand that part. But then you have to give this person great. This is Alabama, the
I feel
middle
like
of nowhere.
I feel like then I haven't watched it. It sounds spot on. And I'm going to tell you where else I just recently saw this happen. Gerard Carmichael and his
And
family.
that's exactly what I thought of. And that was real.
That
That
was
was
real.
real. A real
So it's
situation.
them not, first of all, not having our parents, well, I will say, at least from my perspective, and maybe Carmichael's perspective, not everyone, because I think your parents may be different, don't have the emotional intelligence to sit down and have a conversation and like really lay the cards on the table. It's more like, all right, you're my child and I love you so much. I don't care. Let's just move on. I don't know how to process this yet, but I do know I still love you and I want to keep the dialogue open. They're not saying that, but that's how they're moving. We're just going to
Hmm.
act like nothing happened. That's
Hmm.
a lot of people's parents. That's a lot. So,
And that's what and that's what I get too. But you have to be grateful because then a lot of other people's parents are like, your girl, look at Elon Musk. He will not accept his daughter that is changed over. He's like, he's dead to me. That's what he
yeah.
said. And a lot of people move like that. So if you have, especially a black man, if you have a black man that
You'd be
says,
surprised though. You'd be
okay,
surprised at the compassion that a lot of black men have, even
exactly,
despite
which
what
is
comes
what
out of
I'm
your mouth.
proud of
Yeah.
that they actually showed
I'm glad the show
that.
got greenlit. Like, I'm fully shocked this show got greenlit. And I hope that people who enjoy the show will support it. And I think
Hmm.
I'm gonna watch it and see where it goes. I hope it, catches on another season if it's really good. But there's some shows that, just haven't even been been picked up again, like that Natasha Rothwell show. Is it the one
The
where she
one
was
where she's in the airport?
yeah, they canceled it.
What? I love that show.
She and
I was
she
ready
like
to see the second
yeah,
season.
she put out a little message to fans saying that she's shocked and upset and
That she was shot. And
yeah,
that was
sorry.
Amazon too, right?
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
no, that one was Hulu. She was on Hulu.
Yeah, that was
And
on
this
Hulu.
show, Clean Slate, is on Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon produced show. Get out, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
It was good, but it was unconventional, which is what I liked about it. It
And
didn't have a lot
exactly.
of tropes, which I really enjoyed.
But then it wasn't promoted.
It wasn't. It
It
wasn't. So
wasn't.
that's
It was
the
like
thing.
I just happened upon it. It wasn't like it was one of the things that were like, how they have those for me, like with High Potential. High Potential
Oh my God, they
on
shoved it down
Hulu
our throats.
shoves it down, and I refused to watch it until you said just give it a
I
try.
love that
Because I
show.
was just like, if why is this always my for you? And it was like so many other shows that could be out there, but this was consistently my for you. And they never did that with Natasha Rothwell's show.
They did not. They did not. But I think then, maybe that's enough. And not that she should have to do her own promotion when she's with a major brand like that, but maybe she should come to on a podcast like ours and talk to our viewers and maybe do some grassroots push for her show or something like that. I don't yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good show.
It's an excellent show.
I liked it a
It was
lot. I
very well
love
written.
when she ever brought Ellen Cleghorn on as her
Mhm,
mother, I was done
mhm,
because that's SNL alum. That's my
mhm.
show, and to see her working made me very happy. So, yeah, but I'm sure she's actually on the back on White Lotus again, so she'll get
And
that
that's a
White
show
Lotus.
that everybody loves, and I just have not been able to get into yet.
Oh my God, love both
I will try it
seasons.
again. I think I watched maybe half of the first season, and this is third season three, right?
Yes,
And
Shahida,
she came. Was she in season one?
let it cook. That's all I'm gonna say.
Was she in season one?
Ah, was she? I
I
don't
feel like she was in
remember. I think
season
she might have
two.
just been in season two, but
Right.
she has a storyline. So I'm actually shocked that they brought her back because they could have just ended her storyline in two. So the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they brought her back meant that, people made when they showed, people and they pulled it, people liked her character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but the one in Italy was insane. Like even if you don't even want to watch season one, don't even
I
watch it.
tried.
I liked it, but season two,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
And so
mayhem.
it's in a different hotel or something?
Yeah, so that's what it is. The White Lotus is a chain of resorts.
Okay,
So
so
it'll be in Thailand this season.
okay. I'll
Yeah.
and it comes out what in a couple of weeks or this
Yeah,
week?
this month. So did you ever watch Emily in Paris?
Hell no.
The another
No, I'm not watching.
another great
I'm not watching.
show that I did not want to be there for. When I tell you they have me in a chokehold, I've watched all of them. First of all, her fashion impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
Emily's outfits are I if you just watch it on mute just for the freaking outfits
For
and
the
the
clothes.
accessories, but
Mm-hmm.
it is such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really good show. But anyway, I digress. What the hell were we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about black shows we
We're
watching for
talking
Black
about black
History
shows.
Month.
Yeah, yeah. So Emily in Paris, not a Black History show watch, but very good show. But Clean Slate, good show. What's a black show? I already talked about last week. I really love the Upshaws. It's messy. I
Mhm.
really like that one.
I started it a couple of nights ago, so I'm not, deep. Well, the last season because I've
Yeah,
been watching it since
there's
the
so
first
many
season. And it's
characters,
funny,
so many
and
people to keep
this
track of.
season that damn Tosh is wow.
She is, and I didn't know we needed her, but we do need her.
We don't.
Who else? So the other black show that we've been watching, which is a cool tie-in for this week being Valentine's, is Harlem.
Yeah. I think this might be
I think
their.
this could be the end.
I think this is the end.
I think what they
Unfortunately.
did. So this is what I think they did because I don't want to spoil any of the show for people who haven't finished it, but it's been out. Like y'all need to just finish it. Stop playing with me. Um Malcolm Lee, who I did not know had written a couple of the episodes. He was on one of the episodes recently, but I think the way they ended it is kind of an fu to the network. Like if y'all try to cancel us, we had a nice clean ending for our viewers. So you're not going to cancel us just when we were getting ready to start ramping up. So if it does pick up again, it can pick up with no problem. But if it ended right then and there on the last episode,
Mhm.
perfect.
I think I heard like
There was closure. There was closure.
before the second season or
That
the
it was the
third
last
season
one.
that this was supposed to be the last one. And I'm always a fan of leaving on a high.
Hmm.
Um, I honestly did not like the first few episodes. I felt like the last three were
I guess
excellent.
it had to lead up to everything that to culminate.
I feel like it was rushed because they were ending it. So, like even like her pregnancy, like she was what 20
So
weeks and then
spoiler
one
alert.
episode, I'm sorry, 20 weeks one episode and then damn near having a
No,
baby the next episode. They
here's the
rushed a
thing.
lot.
Here's the thing. Thank you for doing that because I did not need to go through the whole 9 months with sis. I did not. First of
Yeah, but
all,
that was a huge rush.
her character is already messy enough. I could not do 9 months of pregnancy. with
But
Camille.
I don't expect 9 months, but not from flat to damn near 8 months pregnant. That's what they
I
did.
didn't need the in between. It would have took
Hmm.
it would have took too long. But can I tell you? And again, this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't finished it, pause and go back and watch it. I'm gonna tell you what pissed me off in this season. Because really, what we came to talk about was how love was defined in this last season of Harlem. But I was so annoyed with how they got back together. Did you not feel a type of way
What
about
do you mean? Because
so
I knew that that was going to happen from like the
I
very beginning.
so
Because that's how they always write these shows, and I'm so tired
and
of
that's
it.
how people operate in real life. People make up and break. Not me. I'm not a
Mhm.
makeup breakup person. Once
I
it's
am, but go ahead.
done with me. But anyway, a lot of people in life make up and break up.
Hmm.
If his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, had not broken up with him, that man would not have broken up with her for a while later. That's the only reason
He would have ended up cheating on her
because he
before he
almost
broke
did.
up with
He
her.
almost did, but he
He
was like,
Yeah.
he was staying out of quote loyalty because they had these eggs. If that woman had not put her foot down because she got pissed from going to the baby shower and really seeing like the reality of things, he would have dragged that out even longer because that's how his character's personality is.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I wouldn't have given him a chance that quick. I would have been like, "Sir, you got to work to get back over here. We can
Hmm.
co-parent like in a calm, decent way." But and he didn't even bother telling her, "Well, the reason I'm back is because she broke up with me." He just came over there and was like, "I want to be with you." I mean, because she broke up with you?
Well, he said she left.
He's but yeah, I'm like, Camille, it must have been the postpartum fog because there's no way.
But she wanted him too, so it was
She
like, why
did.
fake the funk?
But I'm telling
You
you
knew you
right
wanted the
now,
man. You
I'm
wanted the man from the beginning. Why fake the funk?
and I'm gonna call him Diamond because I remember him from our show P Valley. If that girl didn't break up with Diamond, he would have been with her for several months longer and potentially effed around and let her inseminate them
It was no
eggs,
potentially about it. He was definitely fucking up.
and it would have got even messier. He was
Mhm.
so freaking messy.
I honestly was not mad at that. I really
I didn't
wasn't
like
because I expect
I would have
it's
let
in
him have
every show. It's in
eventually.
every show when it's like between a guy and two women. It's always messy. It's all and they only gave her that out to let her leave with some self-respect.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give that to her because she kind of knew way before, like when Megan was only 23 and they were out on the porch. You knew that those ties weren't really cut
But how he made the lady bring a cake to your baby shower?
because he fucked up. 'Cause he didn't get a cake.
So then you get the
He
cake
didn't have
and
to.
you bring it yourself. Don't bring this woman in my shower now.
That he was, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They made it messier. So
But
they had to let her leave with some
the
self-respect.
fact that he sat in the same doctor's office
Oh,
with this lady and her egg tray, her dozen eggs, like, are you serious right now? And then it's a revolving door. I'm leaving my GYN and she's coming in to her fertility doc. No. No, ma'am.
that was, and I really thought that she was going to end up pregnant, but I'm glad she didn't because then that would have just been
It would
another
have been a
insecure moment,
yeah.
you know.
But I'm
And
gonna
it's
tell you what, I don't want any more seasons of Harlem. I think it
that's what
should
I said. It ended like I'm
I
one of
think it
those
should just stop.
people
Yeah.
go on a high because one, what's the girls, the actress? I never liked that relationship was the worst
Oh
to
my
me.
gosh.
It was
Um
horribly written. I'm like, it was just so
yeah.
unbelievable that and the
So
way they cut that man's hair, it was just a hot ass mess. And
he really
I was
did look
never
like
here for it.
Frederick Douglass's grandson.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
I liked her character when she was just being herself, but I didn't like her with the partner they
him.
put her with.
Yeah.
So her
It
name is
didn't make sense.
Angie. And
Yeah.
I appreciated her fashion. I appreciated her boisterous personality. I did think it was cute when he had the artist do like the picture of her. That was
Mhm.
such a cute, like, I was like doing this to Rel. I'm like, look how romantic that was. Anyway,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
um, the relationship between Ty and her boo, that was so real. I like showing Ty's
That was the
flaws.
best one.
So again, these dimensions of love. So showing
Mhm.
that even when you're in a good space with someone, you can sabotage, because Ty was sabotaging left and right
Mhm.
in that
Mhm.
relationship. And that woman gave her so many opportunities to do the right thing.
It-
And I don't think getting married is going to fix it. I believe that that is going to end in divorce. Like there's no, because Ty is going to keep being Ty and
Mhm.
very prideful and not like the best at relationships.
Mm. I feel a happier ending only because I feel like she wants to change and has made steps to change and she can continue to grow with some therapy and with, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, she has somebody to help guide her in that. And she definitely needs therapy to help her continuing on that. But she is prideful but she's also been rejected by her family and she's carrying a lot of that. And like what her fiance said, you need to make those connections again. You know, go back down south and, you know, kind of at least
Talk to
kind of
them, even if
heal
they don't
some of the
accept you.
things because
Yeah,
you might not get what you need completely from it, but you need something from it.
because she just ran away. She just ran away.
Exactly.
But
Just
how
like the
she,
girl in Clean Slate just ran away and didn't say anything.
and I can't talk for the LGBT plus community because I know that must be very difficult, especially if you perceive that your family's homophobic. So I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that's easy. But how she put that woman out of her office when she critiqued her work and was like, "You
Woo!
could just get out."
Mm-hmm.
See, because we're two women, that's when I would have had to whip your ass. Okay,
That was oof, that was on another level.
but
But I felt her too. Like even in that moment, it was an ugly, ignorant moment. But when she said, you know, when you go to somebody who you perceive to be, you know, on your level, and then also you want to make sure that you're impressing them and you want everything that you do to be like, oh, this is smoke, this is fire, I love it, I
yeah,
love it, I love it. And then when they give you an honest critique, sometimes your ego does get in the way. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I felt those moments, you know, just like she has. Like, I
yeah,
don't want to, you could tell me something, but
with
he
your
can't tell
partner.
me the same thing, and it feels like a stab. So I get it, but I would have never acted that way.
Yeah, see, I
Maybe
think
not completely,
like
but
in everybody's
I understood
relationships,
it.
everyone's relationship is different. Like for me, because my husband's an artist, he is a creative and he runs his
Mhm.
work by me.
And that's
I'll
the work.
straight up be like, yo, I did not like that. That sucked. Not that way, but I'll say, I didn't like that. This is what I suggest. And sometimes he'll take the critique and sometimes he won't. But he comes to me for my honest opinion. Like I
Mhm.
want a partner that can be
I mean,
brutally
how many
honest.
years have you all
Yeah,
built
that's
up
true.
to that?
That's true.
Whereas, like somebody new, and again, being an artist or being a creative, just like she's creating something, and she's good at her job,
Yeah,
and
she's
then to have the
sensitive.
person that she's just getting into a good flow with in a relationship saying, I don't think that's it. Ooh, that
She was
hurt.
trying to help her though.
She
I
was, and
definitely thought,
she realized it later, but at that particular moment, she just felt jumped on, you
yeah.
know, and her explanation to me was spot on. Like I got it.
So that
Uh,
part. But then you supposed to come and meet my mama and
that was ridiculous.
we
That
see
was
you
ridiculous.
dipping out and then lying.
And
I
look
don't
at
like that.
Robin Givens.
I love Robin Given looks amazing. She should get back with Brad Pitt. I'd like to see them two get together in real life again.
Not me. Um, never been a fan of Robin, but
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Brad. I'd love to see those two together in their
No.
old age. They make a cute couple.
Mm.
I like
Okay.
Robin Givens.
Mm.
I think that we thought she was a villain because of how Mike Tyson framed her.
Mm.
And now we know what type of man he is because guess where he was in January
No, where?
at a certain inauguration.
Mm. Doesn't
So
surprise me.
again,
Still not gonna make me like her.
you've proven to us, sir, that you are not you are consistently not a good person. But
Mm.
yeah, that's kind of when I think the black community kind of started seeing her as a villain was in those when she did that interview years ago when they
Mm.
were married and she called him out for his bipolar abusive behavior and people rode for him.
Yeah, that was disgusting. I mean, yeah, that part was bad, but that interview was horrible.
She was being honest, and I think that was her problem. She didn't know how to sugarcoat what was happening to
And she
her.
didn't even have to sugarcoat, but that interview, I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. And
Mhm.
I think it was because it was like the 80s or like the early 90s or whatever. One, we didn't know anything about like bipolar, those kind
Mental
of
health, we
mental
didn't have the language.
illnesses or whatever. The only thing she had to stand on was the physical abuse part of it.
Yeah,
And she, pu- how the interview was done to me was to make
it
her
was a setup.
yeah, to make her look
Yeah.
bad. And and she fell right into it because I think she thought in her
She
head,
thought it was a safe place.
yeah, and it was
It
not.
was not. It
It
was not.
absolutely
But
was
I like her. I admire her. I think
not.
she's a stunning woman still to this day, aging very, very well. Jasmine Guy, I loved seeing her not aging as well, but I
Yeah,
mean,
well, she does have a disease too.
oh, I'm
I
sorry.
forget what it is.
She's
And she's
still
talked about it plenty
regal.
times.
Yeah, she's still regal and gorgeous in her own way. Um, I'm like,
And
does
I
she
love
have
that accent
I'm
that
like,
she
does she
does.
have any Caribbean background? Because she
I don't
really
think
did a
so.
good job. She did
Mm-mm.
a good job as Grace By's mom. But
She could. Is she from St. Kitts?
I think that her mom maybe is a white woman and the father's black. I'd have to
Hmm.
Google it.
Hmm.
But I don't know if her father's Caribbean. It's possible.
Hmm.
It's
I
possible.
thought there was St. Kitts in there somewhere, but I could be thinking of
But
somebody else.
since we're talking about Valentine's, we're talking about Harlem, we're talking about love. Let's talk about the relationship between our homegirl. Now, what was her name? Now, Quinn and her
Yeah,
with
that was
polyamorous dalliance that they
that
put
was
into the
funny
script.
because she tried it, and then that girl was just like, "I just need you to show me your what
Your STD?
on the phone once a month." Like no, and she says, "I do it twice a month." She takes SD. That's a lot.
I
Twice a month.
listen. We
I
listen,
don't ever want to be in a relationship where I got to take an STD test twice a
we
month.
listen, and we don't judge about the polyamory. Go
Oh,
off,
I'm
pop
not
off,
judging about that
pop
part.
off, king and queen. But if you're gonna be in a relationship like that,
Too
you
much work.
kind of do have to do that. I would think you would have to do that kind of testing because there's so many levels to it. Because in that relationship, and I forgot the guy's name. What was is it Kobe? I forgot his name. The
I
guy,
think that's his real name. I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
what
the guy who played
he's
the
in
character.
the
So he had a partner, a long-term partner, and then he wanted to get with Quinn. He said, "I love you. I actually want to start a family with you." He was very transparent, very honest. I appreciated him doing that. However, another one
Was he transparent?
who wasn't going to say shit until she called him out on it. And then he said, "This is what I
So
do."
how was he transparent? That
He was
wasn't
he
transparency.
became transparent after they started the dialogue about it.
Mm,
He said, I do love this person. This is what I do. I still want to be with you, but I
but
do."
he should have said that when he said to her, "Oh, I love you. I want to have a family with you."
Yeah, he
And
should have
hey, by
started
the
that.
way, I have this other relationship. You let her fall into this, and then then you spring that on her, and
But he didn't
she was
keep
not built
he
for that
didn't
life.
lie about it once it was brought up. Now I'm not giving him credit.
But
I'm
you
just
lied
saying,
about it up until that point, though, by omission.
just as Diamond by omission left out the part where homegirl broke up with him before he went back to Megan.
Mm-hmm.
But Quinn was thinking about it. That's the thing that kind of piqued my interest is she was like, okay, I could have all the things I want, but it comes
Mm-hmm.
with this extra person. And then
And then
what
the communication. Ugh.
right. But he said, I'm just going to leave you two alone to talk. And that lady was she was a lot. But I think that I'm sure he'll find another, like Neo, the R&B singer Neo, or Neo soul singer Neo. He lives this lifestyle. So he has this situation with multiple women who know about each other and whatever. I forgot the term that he was using for the type of polyamory that they practice. And I think maybe it works for some couples. I think that's what Monique is trying to say her relationship was with her husband. I
I
I
think it
couldn't
does
do it.
work for a lot more people who actually don't even put a label on it. I think it works for a lot
Yeah.
of people who just say, I want this man, or I don't see it on women having extra men. I would like to see that more often, but men having multiple women, it definitely works because from day one, you go back 50, 60 years, man had woman on one side of town and a whole nother family on the other
Go
side
back 50 years for that. That's today.
of town. So it works. It definitely works.
It can work. And I think if everyone is in agreement, and that's the thing is Quinn realized I want more. I'm
Hmm.
not willing to compromise. I want the man that at least promises to be just with me. Now what he
Hmm.
does once we get together, but I get it, but I'm like there was just there were so many threads of love in this season of Harlem, including the love that Camille had for her daughter, which was really at it just tied up in a neat bundle when you find out that the daughter's name is Harlem. I was like, oh my God, a mother's love. The most omnipotent love that there is. So I was just like, wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful ending. And her daughter was her inspiration. Her daughter was her push to do the book. So regardless of what these partners or whatever do, that mother and child bond, that was like the epitome of love that I thought was so beautiful that came through. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I felt that same way about the the mother and yeah. I don't think I got that. I got more of how her friends stood by her.
That too, the
That
sisterhood
girlfriend
love.
love
That was
that,
another layer.
whether she ever had this guy come and, be there for her, that they were there. That baby shower was absolutely
That baby
beautiful
shower
that
was
Ken.
lit.
It
That
was
was
a
lit.
beautiful, the little, her little head
That she
the
refused to put
ornament that she had. It was beautiful.
it was
The
Beyonce.
flowers, it was nice. So if this is it, and I think it should be as well, that I'm more than good enough. Leave on a high. Don't, because I feel like the writing this season, I don't know, there were several different writers, several different, directors. It just wasn't it. You know, it was a good show. What's the other show that's on
First Wives
uh
Club.
no, on Stars. And this one came after that one.
Is
And
it
that
Black
one,
Women? Like,
it's black women, four black friends, very funny. What's her name? Breacher is on, I can't think of it. What is that show?
I don't
Um,
know what that is.
let's see.
I'm wondering if I watched it.
I typed in the wrong thing. Uh
But that was definitely dope. Like the friendship, the friendship.
Run the
Right.
World. I love that show. I
Oh
thought
my
that was
God. I
so
didn't
much
watch
well
that
written.
one.
You never watched Run the World?
No.
Yeah, it was basically the same type of friends. Four of them, but it was really good.
See, that's
It was
First
really
Wives
good.
Club for me with with
Mhm.
Michelle Buteau, who always cracks my shit up. Like,
Mhm.
that's such a good show. But I'm thinking Megan's probably done because she's getting ready to marry homeboy and start a family.
Yeah, well, don't you need a job? Don't you want more money? Well, he has a movie coming out.
They invited him back to the Marvel universe after they fired
They
him.
did? Okay. What was he in?
He,
Oh, he
he-
was
that's his Coretta, honey.
that I forget what it was. I
He's
forget
getting
what character he was.
he's getting a second life.
I'm surprised that he's coming back to Marvel. Well, good for him. I, d- I, it's like, dude, you just messed up so bad. It was. I him in Marvel was one thing, but Lovecraft Country was my show. I absolutely loved that show, and I thought he was brilliant in it. Everyone thought that he was going to be like this major, and he is good, but he wasn't never my like, oh, he's like the best thing out there. Who I love is what's that guy's name? Damon Idris.
Oh, Damson Idris.
Damn, love him.
I do
Love
too.
him. I think that he is the
These
man. Anyway.
foreigners are taking our jobs.
They are. Sorry. Damson is.
You listen,
Fine.
I ain't
It's
met an
fine.
Idris I
So,
don't like yet. So
mm, but all right. So it is running up on that time.
it's overtime.
Tracy
We
got to
just
get ready to her Super Bowl party. I am going to start my book club reading today.
I'm reading
Um,
with my eyes this month.
you said what?
I'm gonna read with my eyes this month, not my
I
ears.
saw that in the group chat. What made you decide to read it instead of listening?
Because it's not available at the library on audio.
Mm,
So if I want to listen to it on audio, I have to pay Audible, which you
mm.
know who owns Audible,
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Amazon. So I'm trying my best to stop being addicted to Amazon purchases. I'm curbing, I haven't completely boycotted them, but I'm curtailing my
You know,
Amazon spending.
I think
So,
I agree with that. I agree with
so
curbing it. And because
I'm
there's
out of
so
credit.
much stuff on Amazon that we literally can go to the store and just get.
We definitely can.
Now we have to figure out what store, but there's a lot of stuff we can just get up and go and get. And that is my thing is not being so lazy that or wanting that instant
Impatience.
gratification for
Impatience.
everything, huh?
Impatience. So, like you said,
Yeah,
wanting it tomorrow or the
it,
next day.
yep, yep, on
So,
and at my door. And feeling like, and the thing is, when I get an Amazon package or anything in the mail, I'm feeling like I'm getting a gift.
it's euphoria. The gift
Bitch,
you bought
you didn't pay
yourself.
for it. Bitch, you didn't pay for it. So dumb. But going to the store, it's different. I mean, I still feel like, oh yeah, I like getting stuff or whatever. But I agree with you. I did order from the lip bar. I got
Yay.
two lipsticks. I got a eyeliner and what else did I get? A lip liner. So I'm
So
gonna
people
start wearing
should
that this week and it came quick.
I have found difficulty finding one solid place where I can find like a good solid cross section of black businesses, but the best one thus far is WeBuyBlack.com.
Mm-hmm.
WeBuyBlack.com. You can get laundry detergent,
Mm-hmm.
Q-tips, trash
Oh,
bags,
mm-hmm.
you can get your home toiletries and stuff. I feel like there's an overabundance of clothing that are black owned, which is great, but I got enough clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start getting our day-to-day items from black
Mm-hmm.
owned businesses. So bread, there's a company, a black owned bread company. There are several, of course, liquor companies. There's no shortage of those.
Mm-hmm.
But go to these places, go to We Buy Black and be strategic, plan ahead, don't wait till the last minute and start funneling your funds more that way instead of the big companies help build up these small black owned businesses.
Yeah. So I've been a little bit better trying to.
I'm better, but I have not weaned myself completely off Amazon if I'm being 100% honest, but I'm
No.
getting there. I definitely have cut my Amazon spending by probably 75%.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I'm only because I'm like just trying to cut spending in general because I have a whole house that I want to side this summer. So I'm just like, damn,
And you got a
bitch, you
you
broke.
got a whole studio to build.
Yeah, I do that too. So I am just trying to just not spend as much because I spend a lot
We got enough
on
stuff.
dumb stuff.
Look at this. I got too much stuff. This is my office slash overflow clothing closet, which is why you see Chewbacca in the background over here. My coat.
Oh yeah, I was just like Chewbacca. Where's my can't see my Darth Vader. You
But
know that's
anyway,
my king.
so
Anyway,
follow us on social media. We are on Instagram. We're still on Facebook for now. Where are we not, Shahida? Where can you not find us on social media?
motherfucking TikTok.
Mm, don't cur. We wasn't addicted like that to the point where we couldn't. We've been off X. Don't look for us over there.
No, been off X. Soon as that troll came in, we were out.
You can catch full episodes on YouTube, full episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever podcasts are found. Um, and that's it, but
Yes.
keep watching our socials. You don't watch full episodes on our socials, but we are sending through lots of black owned businesses that you can link to and support. I had one of our allies tell me she bought her laundry detergent from a black owned business. I said, "Go ahead, ally. Go ahead." So there's that. Just keep watching our socials for posts, and you'll see lots of Onija content as well because I am aggressively reposting those.
Sister. That sister.
My queen.
So until next week, enjoy.
Until
Have a
then, we'll
wonderful
have
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
Sunday.
results. We'll have Super Bowl results next
I
Sunday.
know. Hopefully, maybe we'll jump on a live if the Eagles win. If they don't, I don't want to talk to anybody about it.
You're right. Don't say nothing. You talk too
What
much.
time is the game? Okay. What time is the game anyway? 7?
I believe 6:30 p.m. is
6:30
the
it starts.
kickoff.
Okay.
So get your nachos, get your wings, get your
I
alcohol.
got my wings.
6:30.
Got my wings. All right. Till next time, everybody.
Until
Have a good
then.
week.